Hey everyone, and welcome back to Bowl with Value. I'm Valerie Bercier, and this week I'm going to show you what to do when you're throwing the wrong ball and how to make the right ball change. Stick around and see what we have.
Fifth graders up by 12. Pass it. Really good look.
Okay, we are back at Sherman Bowling Center. Lanes 49 and 50 today. There's quite a few bowlers bowling right now, so apologize for the background noise, but here we are, and I'm gonna bowl on just their typical house pattern. It is a longer pattern than last week when I made those adjustments on the shorter house pattern. And today it's gonna be a similar thing. Like, say you have the wrong ball or it looks bad. What are some of the things that you can do to make it look better? Or how do you know which ball you should switch to? So we've got the Hammer Pure Envy. Has a little surface on it. It's got about 1,000 grit. And I've got the Hammer Anger, which if you went back to my performance video, high performance, mid performance, low performance, it's not supposed to be that entry level performance anyway. You'll have seen that I had these two balls there on that video, and so I'm gonna just use these two, see if they look good, why they look good, or if they look bad, I'll tell you why. So here we go. We got these two balls here. Typical, I'm just gonna try to hit the second arrow, and I drift a couple left, so I'm gonna stand on 15. And I'm looking at the second arrow, which is 10. I'm just gonna see what this does. I hit 11, slid on 19, and it went high 3-pin. It was a decent shot enough to read. It wasn't like as fast as I could throw it because I'm still a little not loose. And track is okay. I think I spun that one just a little bit, got around it. So I'm gonna move off of a 3-pin. I'm gonna move 3 left with my feet. And I'm gonna go to 11, 12. So I was looking at 10. Now I'm gonna make a 3 and 1/2. So I was at 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. So 18 and 11 and 12 with my eyes. Okay, hit like 13. Ooh! Slid on 22. So I got it out, and then did you see that it kind of like took a second to get started? Came in behind the head pin, the 6 wrapped around the 10. So did I, with the Pure Envy, it's a bigger ball. Bigger meaning stronger. It's got a solid cover, bigger core, it's asymmetric. You don't really want to be circling the lane with it because it's a slow response. It's going to run out of energy. So did I cover too many boards? Perhaps I actually needed to make that 3 and 2, not 3 and 1 or 2. So let me make that move and see what happens. Meaning I'm going to keep that 3 with my feet, so 18, and I'm actually going to look at 12 now. So I'm bringing my target into the oil a little bit more. Interesting. I still saw that it kind of got out a little bit further than I wanted it to. It retained enough energy to get that 6 to clip the 10. Okay, why is that a decent reaction? Because again, it needs to see you don't want it to be too quick response. You want it to be able to blend and get the right entry angle into the pattern. So why don't I throw another shot there and see if I was faked out by it, and maybe I have to make another adjustment, or maybe this isn't the right ball. Okay, here we go. Oh, I got that in. If you can miss and strike, might be the right ball. If you've been watching for any length of time, I've done comparisons where I'm comparing strictly the bowling balls and not really walking through as much of my adjustments. And I've been throwing the wrong ball because it's not striking, and then all of a sudden I throw another one and I don't have to throw it perfectly and it strikes. That's how you know you're throwing the right one. So why don't I try this anger, and I'm going to talk about what I see. So 18, same alignment as that Pure Envy, and 12. Okay. Ooh, cleaner. So by cleaner, it skated through the oil, got down the lane way further before it started to pick up and turn the corner and read. So it hooks later, and it's quicker response off the friction. So if I actually move, well, I went high. I was gonna say if I move back right and I get it right, it's gonna respond really hard off the friction. But that was light. That was a light strike. Whereas with the Pure Envy, it's like the Pure Envy almost didn't get there in the same way, but it appeared to be the same way, but it was opposite reaction. So the Envy was almost depleting too much energy, and this one didn't have enough. Like it was later. Gosh, bowling is so confusing. I mean, if you're with me, let me know. This is the hardest. Ball reaction and reading ball reaction accurately is the hardest thing in the game. It's so difficult. Is your ball not hooking, or is it hooking too much? So I'm here to try to help you gain some clarity and see it better. So let me throw that same shot. I got it in the same way, the Pure Envy, and it slid through the oil in the same way, but it just hooked a little bit later and drove the pocket differently. The Pure Envy, what I saw was that it kind of like rolled into the pocket and then almost like stood up a little bit, whereas that drove the 8-pin. Like it was going through the 8-pin. So which one is better right now on this pattern? It would be, the one that I would pick is the one that's going to give you the most forgiveness. So far, I left a flat 10 with the Pure Envy, or a 3-pin, and then I moved, right? And then a 10-pin. So I'm gonna see if I strike one more time with the anger, I think it might be this ball that I'm choosing. Oh, whoa! Oh, I totally thought that was gonna be a 10-pin because that sailed through the break point that I thought it was gonna start to hook, and it actually hooked but carried the 10. So I actually thought that it was gonna be a light 10-pin, but it wasn't. So I'm going with the anger on this one, just because I felt like I had to be a little bit more perfect, or at least keep my angles in front of me with the Pure Envy. And if you've been following my bowling, I like to open up my angles, I like to hook it, and that the Pure Envy, just because of how solid it is, how rolly it is. If my game was different, then I'd probably stick with that. Or if it had a little bit more volume on the lane, the Pure Envy would have been a much better option. Well, that's it for this week, where I talked about how to change balls, or how to read your ball reaction and get clarity on whether your ball's hooking early or not hooking enough to get the right entry angle into the pocket. So stick around for next week, because I'm going to talk about changing hand positions to create different ball reaction on the lane. And I'm going to use the same balls so we can see how to get quicker ball reaction if it's too slow, and how to maybe slow down your ball reaction if it's a too quick response. So, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe and leave us a comment. Let us know if there's anything within the brands of Brunswick you'd like to see compared or reviewed or discussed, or something like this on the channel. Because we look at those comments and we do this every week. With that, see you next week. Ooh, still striking.